Fellas, we just finished up with UFC Sacramento, Hernandez versus Rodriguez, and man, what a shitty way to end it. I lost a bunch of money tonight, man, so I am going to be biased on a lot of these. It was just an absolute, just. I feel like I was watching a different main event than a lot of the other people that were watching this card because I heard a lot of like, Fluffy is a dog. Fluffy did so well against Robocop. This was a war. I didn't think any of that shit, man. I'm going to get to my thoughts on the main event in a second, but we're going to start all the way at the bottom here. Starting off with Chanel Dyer versus Elise Reed. I didn't think it was all that great, man. Chanel Dyer just kind of goes back and forth. Elise Reed, anytime she would throw something back, Chanel Dyer was backing off and just kind of retreating halfway across the cage, which I didn't love. Ends up getting the knockout in round 3 as a minus 150 favorite. But congrats, man. It was against some random soccer mom. Like, it was really nothing. I'm not too impressed. Speaking of not impressed, Wes Schultz, Jackson McVeigh, the worst middleweight in the UFC, gets slimed out by the second worst middleweight in the UFC. Jackson McVeigh goes out there and beats him in round 1. That's great. That's exactly what was supposed to happen. Wes Schultz looked like shit in the weigh-in. And McVeigh's just the better fighter. That was the correct outcome here. Moving on. Stan Dorsainville absolutely robs Gage Young in this lightweight bout here. Gage Young looking like the better fighter. It was a fun back and forth, man. Gage Young actually shoved Dorsainville in the middle of the first round, and then or at the end of the first round, and then before the third round, they come out and hug each other. I don't know what was going on there, man. Dorsainville is a little bit wild. He was swinging, but he does seem to have a chin on him. Gage Young also has a chin, man. It was a solid fight, but I do think Gage Young probably won that one. Dorsainville's going to stick around in the UFC. We'll see. I don't think he gets much further than early prelims on a fight night, but we'll see. Good win, I guess, from Dorsainville. Next up, Mauricio Barbosa absolutely slimes Ryan Cuse, as we expected. Minus 1,000 favorite. That's what it looks like. Although I don't think any kind of 1v1 cage fight should be a minus 1,000 favorite. That's what it's supposed to look like, man. We'll get into some of the underdogs here in a second. Mauricio Barbosa goes out, lands a glancing shot on Ryan Cuse and puts him down. Ryan Cuse quits, crying, palms up in the corner, and the fight ends. That's a good win for Mauricio Barbosa. Next up, Chris Padilla gets the better of Nasrat Haqparast, puts him to sleep with no time left in the third round. Kind of a nothing fight, to be honest. This is a pretty boring one on the feet, and you guys know me. I'm not a big fan of the wrestling, but I'm really not afraid to let him know when it's boring on the feet. And Chris Padilla versus Nasrat Haqparast was boring on the feet. Quite honestly, I thought Padilla was losing a decision. He was a minus 500 favorite going into even the third round, I believe, and I thought Nasrat had won the first 2 rounds. But Padilla goes out there and gets the finish, man. That was a good way to end it. Don't leave it up to the judges. We had a ton of decisions on this one. This was a shining moment from tonight. I think Padilla did well. I don't know if he deserves a bonus for that, but gets the win over Haqparast, who I think is probably pretty much done in the UFC after Quillen Salkeld absolutely executed them. But moving on, man, we're going to Kennedy Nzechukwu versus Shamil Gaziev. The meal deal. Shamil gets it done. What the fuck was that game plan? Nzechukwu, leave your hands down at your waist. I think any heavyweight on the roster is going to sleep you with one punch. He had his hands completely at his hips, and Shamil Gaziev, who he's not like completely known for his power, but he's got a couple one-punch knockouts now, and this is one of them. You don't want to just sit there with your chin up in the air against Shamil Gaziev. Like, I just don't understand the thought process. Complete waste of a fight. I really am not impressed by anything Gaziev did. It was just kind of a layup for him to just throw a right and land on Nzechukwu. It doesn't really prove anything for me. Nzechukwu just looks like an absolute idiot. And that's about it. Speaking of looking like an absolute idiot, Larry and Douglas. Dude, I'm hating because I lost money, dude, so take what I say with a grain of salt. But this one destroyed any chance I had of making money on this card tonight. Jamal Emmers lands a one-punch on Larry and Douglas in the first round. And Larry and Douglas, crawling, covering up, crying in the feet of the referee, refuses to even look back at Jamal Emmers. It wasn't even that hard of a punch. I'm just sitting here in my mom's basement making these fight videos, so I really don't know. But it looked like Jamal Emmers completely fluked the KO on Larry and Douglas. And Larry and Douglas does not have much of a chin, as you can see. Completely shut down a prospect. like I said, it looked like he didn't even really eat that punch that bad. It almost looked like he took a dive as a minus 390 favorite. I don't know why a guy who's 14-5 is minus 390 favorite in the first place, but probably should have laid up on Jamal Emmers on this one. Larry and Douglas disappoints every single person who's ever been a UFC fan. Next up, Anthony Wint versus Terrence Chapman, another one that trashed any chance I had tonight. Anthony Wint goes out and subs Terrence Chapman. He looked completely calm walking into the cage, and as he was, fighting these first couple rounds, he was completely calm. And by calm, I mean he was kind of afraid to go in there against a guy who's 35 pounds heavier than him, and looks like there's no type of striation or any type of muscle definition on this guy. He just looks like not a 2x4. He just looks like a plywood. Just a board of plywood. There's nothing. There's no distinguishable muscles on this guy. But Wint knows he can get hit and get caught by this guy, so he goes in for the takedown. Ends up getting the sub on a very low-level guy. Obviously, Terrence Chapman is nothing special. And gets the win. But, man, Wint is good. As a lighter skill guy, these are times when they're going to have to get the win like this. They're not going to always go in there and just, maraud to a knockout on a guy who's 30 pounds heavier than them. He's just not. Although he did pick him up at one point. He looked like he was going for the slam. Chapman is just, he's cutting down to 265, let's say that. But he subs the fat guy and continues to ruin everyone's night. Next up, the GOAT, Carly Giudice, gets a knockout over Jesla Chavez. Body shot kick, gets a knockout. Appreciate it. Next up, Markel Medeiros gets the finish over Mason Jones. Mason Jones popped his ult into round one, trying to finish Markel Medeiros. Didn't work. Medeiros was a little bit too durable. And we end up getting a Mason Jones TKO while he was still standing. So I don't know who was reffing that fight. I think it was Herb, actually. It might have been Herb. I could be wrong about that, but Mason Jones was still standing. You got to give this guy the benefit of the doubt, man. After the last couple fights, I think he deserves it. But it is what it is, man. It was probably a good stoppage for anyone else on the planet. Medeiros gets a good win over Mason Jones in round 2, I believe. UFC website, in all their glory, says he won in round 3, and every single fighter won in round 3 by a knockout. But yeah, moving on. RDR absolutely brutalizes Dolidze. Didn't even look close. Didn't even look like this matchup needed to be made, and it didn't need to be made. It was a complete waste of time. Dolidze absolutely sucks. We'll get to Fluffy getting a ranking off Dolidze in a second. But RDR goes out there and just beats his ass. Just absolutely beats his ass for a round and gets the win. It could have been stopped like a minute and a half earlier. But that was about it. He just looked like he had nothing for him. You would never guess that RDR was the one that was going up to light heavyweight, and I guess this is looking good, but it was just an embarrassment. I don't think Dolidze is really going anywhere in the UFC, and I think RDR needed that. He needed something like that to keep going. Next up, I mean, what do you say about this one, man? A decision. Sergey Spivak and Vitor Petrino. They just. I don't think anyone really deserved a win in this one. But it happened. Man, I'm just looking at this main event, dude, and I am so angry. I don't want to hear anything from any Fluffy fans anymore about how Fluffy's such a dog. What did he go 2 for 35 on takedowns tonight? Is that ring a bell? Absolutely refused to fight. Oh, but this is what Fluffy does, right? He drags people into deep waters. Yeah, anyone with no takedown defense gets finished by Fluffy. Dolidze. This was his game plan against Sean Strickland. Nothing changed moving to Strickland's gym. Robocop just knows how to stuff a takedown. And he absolutely did nothing but fence push the entire fight. There's moments on the feet where he was swinging and he was catching Robocop. It makes you think if he game planned to actually fight him like a fighter, he probably would have done well on the feet. He probably could have gotten a finish. Robocop's not known for his chin. I think he probably could have gotten one off there. But no, he decided to fence push in any kind of trouble that he got into. And Robocop had him in a lot of trouble, man. He knocked him down 5-6 times off a leg kick. Robocop going in there and not choosing to go get the ground and pound instead of just standing up and keep going to the leg kick. If it was me, man, like, obviously, like, I can say whatever I want here, sitting on the couch and just watching. But if I'm Robocop's corner, I'm telling him as soon as Fluffy steps forward with the left foot, leg kick, instantly, drop him. And he was getting the better of him on the feet as well. Quite honestly, I think 48-47 is just embarrassing for the judges. I think that was a 49-46 at the minimum, and I do think Robocop won all 5 rounds. Really just no damage on the part of Fluffy, and every knockdown, every anything was for Robocop. The 2 takedowns that Fluffy had, one was kind of close to, there was 1 sub attempt there. So they each had 1 sub attempt. Let that be known. No takedowns for Robocop. 1 sub attempt for each of them. And he was able to get out of it. Rodriguez was able to stand up after the second one pretty easily. It lasted all of 2 seconds. And Fluffy puts on an atrocious performance in front of his home crowd. This whole, like, drowning him thing, like, it's getting kind of old, man. It looked like Robocop had the better cardio out of the 2. After watching Strickland go and just kind of brutalize him, you knew it wasn't great. I don't think we really want to put him anywhere near title conversation anymore. And I don't know how really close Robocop is to title conversation, man, but he's a hell of a lot closer than Fluffy. He literally just fence pushed him the whole time. I don't know what everyone on Twitter is saying this was a great fight. This was a dog performance out of Fluffy. Am I missing something? I don't know, man. Tell me if I'm wrong, and tell me what you think in the comments, because I really just have no clue what fight other people were watching. It could be my complete bias because I lost a whole bunch of money tonight, and that's totally fine. I understand that I'm biased. I'm gonna have to go back and actually no, dude. I'm not gonna torture myself by going back and rewatch it. Fluffy looked no better than any Muslim Russian here tonight. He was just fence pushing the entire time. He looked like Ian Gary. There was nothing of value. There's nothing that showed me that Fluffy should be ranked. After getting a win over Delidze, that's why he's close to the top 5. But what did he show me tonight? Oh, I just spit everywhere. What did he show us tonight to prove that he should be ranked anywhere near the top 5? I don't think much of anything, man. But you guys let me know if I'm wrong. Obviously, as I've said multiple times throughout this video, I'm just sitting here in my mom's basement. You know what I'm saying? But it just seems to me that his whole game plan is to push you up against the fence, and then if you have brutal takedown defense, to get you and throw the rear naked on there. But you guys let me know in the comments below what you think. Like, comment, and subscribe for more questionable takes from your boy. Yeah, that'll be it for this video. We're looking ahead. I don't want to go back to this one either. See you in the next one. Peace.